What's traditionally been waste on the farm can now be a revenue stream for farmers when used in the production of green plastics and other environmentally friendly products. That is why our government continues to invest in projects with innovative companies like Competitive Green Technologies. But the minister is not one, I know him well, to rest on his laurels, and he'll tell you himself there's a lot of work to do in making this industry as competitive as can be. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Minister Ritz to come forward and share with us some very exciting news on that front.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Good afternoon, everyone. I certainly want to begin by thanking Mike for allowing us to use your facility here today for this announcement. Tremendous world-class facility, and as we were discussing earlier, it's probably the only one in North America that the manufacturing is done right on the farm, which I think is a tremendous use of the product right here, and a big cost saving when it comes to transportation. I'm pleased to be here to tell you about an important investment that our government is making to support innovation in agriculture right here in southwestern Ontario. I'd like to thank everyone here at Competitive Green Technologies for all that you're doing to provide new markets for Canadian farmers. Like you, our farmers have always relied on innovation to build and enhance their businesses. It's about identifying a need, thinking outside the box to find the right direction to move forward. As you know, our government's top priority remains the economy. By supporting innovative companies like Competitive Green Technologies, we're helping pave the way to long-term prosperity for farmers, food processors, and all Canadians. You're helping drive an agriculture and food industry here in Ontario that led the country in exports close to $12 billion last year alone. At the federal level, we're working hard to grow that number through trade agreements with key markets like the European Union, while supporting innovative new crop varieties for horticultural producers through the Agricultural Growth Act. Of course, we're also supporting innovative companies like Competitive Green Technologies through investments to help you purchase and install exciting new made-in-Canada technology developed by researchers at the University of Guelph. The equipment is now being used to process fibers like switchgrass and oat hulls into environmentally friendly resins used by the plastic molding industry for everyday products. Today's advances in science and technology are helping to create exciting new market opportunities for these kinds of environmentally friendly fibers and in turn, ultimately for farmers. What's traditionally been waste on the farm can now be a revenue stream for farmers when used in the production of environmentally friendly plastics, as we're seeing here today. That's why our government continues to invest in projects with innovative companies like Competitive Green Technologies. We recognize the value in partnering in projects that provide growth and prosperity to Canadian farmers and, of course, the agricultural sector overall. Our commitment to innovation like this is underscored in Canada's new agricultural policy framework, Growing Forward 2. GF2 is setting the right conditions for success for our farmers, food processors, and innovative companies like we see here. Growing Forward 2 represents $3 billion over 5 years, or $600 million a year in targeted, strategic investments in innovation, competitiveness, and market development to move our agricultural industry forward. This includes nearly $700 million under the Agri-Innovation Program. As well, we want to help entrepreneurs harness innovation so that our agricultural industry can continue to create jobs and growth right across this great country. So today, I'm very pleased to be here to announce that we are building on our support of the agricultural industry with a federal investment of $3 million to Competitive Green Technologies. This investment will support pilot-scale testing of natural fiber alternatives for plastics. This project will bring together experts from industry and academia. Competitive Green Technologies will lead the collaborative pilot-scale testing. The goal is to help Canadian producers benefit from cutting-edge science and technology while helping to boost our economy. Environmental sustainability continues to be a key priority for our government. Supporting research projects like this will lead to new innovative products that will help farmers safeguard the environment and keep more money in their pockets. This kind of environmentally conscious innovation that will keep Ontario's agricultural sector strong and sustainable. This is all very good news for farmers, for the economy, and of course for consumers. Ladies and gentlemen, our government knows that investing in innovation is important to creating jobs and economic growth. I'm proud that our government is investing in innovative companies like we see here today in Competitive Green Technologies. By doing so, we're helping pave the way to long-term prosperity for southwestern Ontario. It's one more way we're putting farmers first and keeping our economy strong. Thank you.
I think we should clap for $3 million for competitive green technologies. That's outstanding. Thank you so much, Minister Ritz, for bringing what's important news for our local economy, also for Canada's national economy. More importantly, when you drill down to this, it's for working families, and that's what matters. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium for his response and comments Mr. Atul Bali, who is the CEO of Competitive Green Technologies.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for doubling Leamington's population today. We really appreciate that. Thank you also very much for discovering the center of the universe, our universe anyways, Leamington, Ontario. We are very, very proud to have you here. We're very honored by your presence. It gives me great pleasure to be able to thank the Honorable Minister and the government for investing in this innovation, for investing in this rural economy in this part of the country, and for investing in the job creation initiative that we've undertaken with this investment. I'd like to just point out, much has been said about the need for innovation, and it's so true, but adding value at farm gate and how we do that, and adding value to the rural economy and how we achieve that is what I'd like to speak about. So if you look on your left, there are products on that table there, which actually, looking at the flower pots and the bins, are available in, I'm proud to say, over 1,200 home hardware stores and at all the Lowe's stores in our country and the complete Kroger chain in the United States. It was a long struggle. When I dreamt of this company and I wanted to give it a name, I said, let the name speak for itself. Let no one guess what we're about. So the key words here are competitive, and green technologies, of course, is a given, but the key word here is competitive. So when I say competitive, I mean two things. One, price performance parity with what we are substituting, which typically is a non-renewable resource, fossil fuel-based polymer. And the second aspect of being competitive is that the processing of our bioresin should not be at any disadvantage to the person who is the molder, our customer. So it should be a drop-in substitute to what he has been using so far. And that was, no question, a tremendous job in research. And once again, without the University of Guelph's Bioproducts Discovery and Development Center, this would have been absolutely impossible. So this industry-led project is very largely owed to the research being done and continuing to be done at the University of Guelph's, BDDC as we call it, under Dr. Mohanty and Dr. Misra's leadership at the university. I'd like to thank OAFT, I'd like to thank ARIO, thank the AAC Growing Forward 2 portion for their support for this company, and very importantly, AAFC. And I also would like to thank, from the bottom of my heart, the University of Guelph's tremendously iterative, very fast response cycle in being able to understand end user applications, develop formulations, again go back to the drawing board if necessary, but do this all in a rapid time frame so we can take product to market in no less than maybe a couple of years when we first got started to try and develop the bioresin technology. With this, I'd like to conclude by saying that my partner in crime, Mike Thiessen, it's always a partner in crime, farmers typically, but he has been very, very important to this whole venture. We have got maybe North America's first facility right at farm site, if you will, because transporting biofibers, as Honorable Minister said, is a very expensive proposition. And we've been able to therefore mitigate all of those, and also being close to feedstock, we mitigate the risk of scalability. So the idea here is we have global customers. When you look at the parts under development of the table with Volkswagen and Honda, for example, these are customers with multiple manufacturing locations around the world. So we want to make a global company, make locally and export globally. That is the ambition, that is the vision for Competitive Green Technologies. And I want to thank you again, Honorable Minister, very, very much for your investment in our organization, for your investment, therefore, in agriculture, agri-foods, and beyond. And we today stand here to represent that beyond. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bali. And I would like to introduce now Mike Thiessen with Competitive Green Technologies to come and make some remarks as well. Mike.
Congratulations. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. We're very honored to have you all here today. Thank you again, Honorable Minister, for your investment in the value addition to agriculture and for your support to this region. I've often been asked, how does a family-run greenhouse farmer get involved in biocomposites? In 2005, we invested in biomass technology to minimize cost fluctuations to heat our greenhouses. Shortly after, my cousin, Dean Thiessen, had the vision that we could grow our own biomass supplies in the field. So we planted fields of miscanthus, a purpose-grown energy crop. During this process, we realized this crop had an interesting fiber component that could lead to several potential end uses. We began investigating new technologies that could add value to this crop. In 2009, the University of Guelph's Bioproducts Discovery and Development Center, the BDDC, was created. It is today one of the world's pioneering bio-based materials development center. BDDC requested fiber samples and in-kind support to be provided to develop biomaterials. Dean's idea was to fractionate a bale of grass and use different fiber formats for different end uses, similar to the way a barrel of oil is fractionated. This concept improved the economics and opened up new opportunities. We realized that working collaboratively with Dr. Amar Mohanty's team at the University of Guelph's BDDC could lead to significant improvements in the biomaterial space. Meanwhile, Atu Bali had created Competitive Green Technologies and, with his market access, had undertaken trials of biocomposites at various willing and supportive customers. It was then that the Thiessen family, including partners Dean, Jason, Ryan, and Jen Thiessen, decided to partner with Adel. We soon formed a long-standing, trusting relationship with like-minded objectives to put Canada on the world map in the emerging high-growth bioeconomy. Adel's strong commitment to providing the customer a competitive and scalable green alternative is the foundation of our company's value proposition. This particular investment by the government will help match our own resources to expand CG Tech for creating high-skilled, sustainable employment and adding value at the farm gate in the depressed Southern Ontario area. This investment will serve to create new processes through research and design, build new equipment based on research outcomes, and commercialize new technologies that are currently under pilot scale. Support from Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada in Leamington, Ontario will serve to showcase innovation in Canadian agriculture in terms of value-add use of dedicated crops grown on marginal land to offset fossil fuel-based plastics with potential carbon credit benefit. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, Mike, and once again, congratulations to CG Tech. I'd like to call Dr. Amar Mohanty to the podium. Dr. Mohanty is a premier researcher at the University of Guelph, director of their Bioproducts Discovery and Development Center. Dr. Mohanty.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, good afternoon, Honorable Gerry Ritz, Mr. Member of Parliament Jeff Watson, Mike Thiessen, Atul Bali, friends, and my esteemed guests. I am honored and privileged on behalf of my colleagues and the University of Guelph to speak on this auspicious occasion. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the federal government, especially the Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada's Agri-Innovation Program, for a very timely investment. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for the investment you have made in innovation to add sustainable value to the agriculture. Two key points in this project are bio-based plastics and natural fiber composites, both falling under clean technology. Honorable Minister, this investment would support and supplement to the growing bio-based polymer market projected to a value more than 7 billion by 2018. And in addition to that, the natural fiber composites market is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of more than 10% during 2014 and 2019. Therefore, these investments from the government is an early stages of product development will help position Canada to be a market leader in this emerging sector. Natural fiber composites will find tremendous uses in the green automotive parts because of the automakers look for lighter parts for better efficiency, fuel efficiency. The most important thing, the supply chain scalability of feedstock and taking innovation in biomaterials to the market are inseparable. Competitive Green Technologies' unique business model of an industry and farmer partnership and location at farm gate positions it for success. Bio-based plastics and biocomposites are there in the market. The vision of this novel industry, university, and government project is to make that more prevalent and more cost competitive or lower cost through intensive and respectful collaboration. So today I feel very proud and very much happy because once I entered into Canada after my 9 years of staying in United States, I first started my research in the perennial grass. At least it gave me happiness. Today this perennial grass is going to the market. Thank you to Competitive Green Technology to make this happen. The BDDC expect to provide all support in research and lead the way for creating price performance competitive bio-based materials that would be used in a variety of industrial applications. This investment, Honorable Minister, will serve to potentially place Canadian agriculture on the world map as a leader in finding innovative and trailblazing uses of very perennial grasses and undervalued co-product streams of biomass. We look forward in working together with Competitive Green Technology and its industry partner, New Energy Farms and Fiber Formatting Company in this project. Once again, the collaboration that we are talking, it is not just started, it is a long collaboration and it has taken a long time to create the strong relationship with Competitive Green Technology, which has been started about 4 years ago. So this program funded by AAFC expect to enhance this collaboration further. We are now in an excellent position to effectively integrate and accumulate expertise residing with our research facility of the Bioproduct Discovery Development Center at the University of Guelph. Mike Thyssen and Atul Bali at CG Tech have been visionary partners in this challenging process of developing new bioproducts. So we at the Bioproducts Center at the University of Guelph are delighted to be part of this milestone project. The center we refer to is BDDC has received tremendous support from the government, private sector, banks, and alumni to evolve in 6 short years since its starting as one of the world's leading centers of excellence in the bio-based materials developments and their innovations. Innovation means taking the university discovery to the real-world application for social benefit. I would like to thank the University of Guelph administration for their strong support for bioproducts R&D. Here my colleagues, all the colleagues of the University of Guelph and colleagues and chair of the Department of Plant Agriculture, Professor Peter Pauls, who is here. Thank you, Peter, for your encouragement and coming to this function. And my students, researchers, and staff of BDDC, and some of the presents here already, and industry partners and collaborators. I also like to thank our FedDev Ontario and Dr. Sahar Nawaz, who are in the audience, and there was a strong support from FedDev recently to make commercial facility of the BDDC. and my board members of Bioproduct Discovery Development Center, especially to Dr. Gord Sojourner and Stuart Christman, who are in the audience today. And I must thank my partner, my colleague, and who is the soulmate, Professor Manju Misra, who is here, and who makes magic all the time possible, because without her, it is very difficult to go forward. So it is a lot of support from a lot of people that has enabled this industry, and I would love to see how this small industry will grow and create new innovation. That generally gives happiness to a researcher like us. Thank you very much, government, for such an wonderful and very timely and very wise funding announcement. Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. That's going to bring today's event to a close. I want to thank you who are here in the audience today for appearing, for your support for CGT and for our government's innovation agenda to grow our economy. I want to make particular note of MPP Rick Nichols, who has joined us as well. Rick, we appreciate your continued support for the farm economy here as well. I want to congratulate Competitive Green Technologies on a successful application and investment that's coming your way. We're pleased to be partners in that regard. In a sort of final closing comments, those who don't know my previous life before elected politics, I worked on the assembly line at Chrysler, and I can tell you, as somebody who has been very active with the auto industry in my political life, CGT, with this type of an investment, is well positioned to capitalize on what is a very important growing market. For those who may not know, our fuel economy standards, we have very aggressive fuel economy standards together with the United States for what's an integrated North American auto industry. We're effectively a late model compact car. Its fuel economy is the fleet average standard that has to be attained by 2025, and that's extremely aggressive. It will take billions of investment by the auto industry and players who want to capitalize in that particular industry. So there's enormous potential. One of the ways those fuel economy standards are going to be achieved is through automotive lightweighting, and bioprocessed parts can play a critical role on a global scale from a local company just like this. So we congratulate CGT one more time.